Okay, so this is the project that I did for CS4750. I did the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom recipe guide. I'm Jonathan Casterson. So first, let's go over the problem. So what is the problem? So Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a really fun and extremely popular game, but you go around collecting various items which are extremely useful, but you have to cook recipes and make elixirs with them. And this is an essential part of the game, but one of the issues is that finding the best possible recipes can be a boring and tedious process. So for example, some of the best ingredients are extremely rare, and once you use them, they are gone and can easily be wasted, and this can be extremely frustrating. So the aim of this app is to solve this laborious task of discovering recipes within the game, and it does that by catering to two distinct user categories. So the first is those who are seeking the best recipes, they just want the best, and the other is those desiring a faster exploration of culinary possibilities. In other words, they just want a faster way of being able to try new combinations and see what recipes they produce. Okay. So now let's do a demo. So this is the application. So this is what you will be landing on when you first open the application. So there's this make recipe button, clear ingredients. You can search by name or material category. Here are all of the materials. And then you can also sort. So if you click on this, it shows the different materials. So I'm just going to go about and craft a couple different recipes just to show off the functionality. So first, we're going to be making a creamy cream of mushroom soup. So here's a mushroom. The next ingredient is a plant. So I'm going to go here and go to the plant section. So we can pick from any of these. And then the next ingredient is a rock salt. So I'm going to go to all. And then I'm going to search for rock salt. So rock should just be good. There it is right there. And then fresh milk. I'm just going to type in milk. And that should be good. And there it is right there. And then I'm going to type make recipe. And you see that it's the cream of mushroom soup. You get the icon, the title, the description, and then the required ingredients. So this is sort of like a fun way of just being able to play around with different combinations. And of course you can like deselect individual items by clicking on them or by tapping on them, and then you can clear the ingredients by just pressing that. So you can play around with different combinations, like maybe 4 apples, and see what that produces. And I guess we'll just go ahead and do one more. So we'll do this. So we'll go ahead and go to the lizard part, and we'll select this lizard. And if you don't know what the name is, if you hold over it, you actually get a tooltip that says, so this is the hightail lizard. And then we'll go back to all, and we'll search for an enemy part. So this is the category portion. So we have all these different options. Let's just go ahead and select this. This is a red choo-choo jelly. And then let's tap on make recipe. And as you see, it shows the elixir. So this is just a fun way of being able to explore all of the different options. And yeah, it's a pretty unique feature. So the next feature is the recipe section. So if we tap on this, so the first thing that you'll see is that there are a lot of recipes in this game. So you scroll for quite a while. And then the other thing is that each of the recipes tells you the name, the caption, the cooking method, because there's different cooking methods, which we'll get into, and then the required ingredients, and also a favorite icon, which you can press. And this will actually store the recipe locally to your device, so it stores it persistently. And this way, if you find a recipe that you really like say you like the fish skewer, you can tap on that, and it'll be stored in your favorites, which I'll show in a second. So here you can sort by the different kinds of cooking methods. So if you want to see the fire ones, you can tap on that. And you can see baked apple, how many hearts you'll recover from it, the cooking method, the required ingredients, baked golden apple, and there's all of the different recipes for that. So all the required ingredients. In this case, it's just one for all of them. And then you see that I have already favorited this roasted big radish. But you can also go by hot spring, which there's just one thing, a hard-boiled egg. So that's another part that's kind of cool about this app, is you can learn a couple things about the game. Like there's one recipe for this hot spring cooking method. And then if you go to the free section, you can see the different recipes for this and what they'll output, and also their effects. So resist hot. And then if we go back to all, we can actually just search for specific recipes. So in the game, there are quests that require you to craft certain recipes. And this is sort of the part where some of the more difficult to discover recipes can come really in handy. So the first one we're going to search for is the crunchy fried rice. And there you go. And so you can see, okay, it's meat, an oil jar, a Highland rice, and a bird egg. So this is a really convenient way of being able to solve those quests and find some of those recipes. Or let's do another one. Let's do a Highland tomato pizza. So we search for it. You can see that. And then if we want, we can favorite this, which I will show later. So yeah, this is and you can filter while you're actually, or you can do a categorical filter while you're in the search as well. So it works both ways. Okay. And now we have the elixir section. So you can see I've already favorited one of them. And there's not a lot of elixirs in this game. So I only have the search by name. But that can still come in handy. And you can always favorite them and do different things like that. And then it tells you the effect. So if you wanted to know the actual effect of the elixir, you can do that. You can also search by that. And then we have this materials section right here. So if I tap on that, it brings you to this. And this is kind of like, to go back really quick to the creative section, it's in this case, you can hover over and get a name. But in the material section, you can actually get much more in-depth descriptions on all of the different stats, effects, the names, the descriptions, and you can also sort. So if you go here, if you want to see all the lizards, you can do that. If you want to see all of the fish, you can do that. You can also search for a specific material. So, and then all of the enemy parts. So yeah. So this just provides a really in-depth look into all of the individual materials and all of their stats and effects and their categories. And this is useful as well for the recipe portion, because some of the recipes have just generics that they'll accept. And you can use this filter to actually say, okay, what are all of the plants? And any of these will be accepted if a recipe takes, say, a plant for a category. Okay. And then we go on to the favorites section. So these are stored locally. And then here you can actually search for through your favorites, and you can also deselect them here. So maybe I don't want this seafood skewer or this fish skewer. And then you can hit this refresh icon if you want to refresh. The reason I didn't have an auto refresh here is because I figured it would be kind of annoying if you accidentally pressed on one of these recipes. So, but if you click the refresh, it's gone. Or if you leave the page. And then, like I said, these are stored locally. So if you go back to your recipes, like let's say I go down here and I start copious meat skewer, and then I go back to creative and I'm doing something over here, trying out different stuff, and then I go back to the recipes, you can see that it's saved. Okay. And then it's obviously saved in the favorites, as you can see right here. And then the last part of this is kind of like a blog part. And this is the tips and tricks section. So if you click on that. So it has the table of contents for what I've added so far. So the first section is some of the cooking basics, like why cooking is important, how to cook, and then some images illustrating what I'm actually talking about. And then these you can just click on to navigate to the specific sections. So right here I have some more cooking tips. So for instance, this one points out how, blood moons are really annoying in the game, but they're actually really good for cooking. And then also some of the best recipes in the game. So this is the part where it's like, if you just want to know, what's some of the best recipes in the game, I have them outlined right here. So these are some of my favorites personally. And then also, because of the nature of this application, I can embed that same recipe view directly into this section. So from right here, the player can decide to say favorite the creamy heart soup or the porgy or the apple pie, or all of them. And so I think this is a pretty cool feature of the actual app. And then if you go back to your favorites, you can see that the creamy heart soup is there, the porgy is there, and the apple pie is there as well. So yeah, this is my application. And then just to show that you can actually search, everything works there. So yeah, this was the application that I made, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.